Welcome, everyone. This is our class on the healer within. My name is Abby O'Neill, and I'm a medical intuitive, and I'm teaching with Jim McCarthy, who's a spiritual teacher and counselor, and who's a tremendous asset in holding light and space to let people heal. The healer within is a class that we came up with because it seemed like so many people need that still, quiet voice within now, especially to guide them either through world events or just our own life. It's been kind of a chaotic year. I don't think I'm exaggerating, like most of my clients would agree with me. And yet, as we connect with our guidance, as we connect with this sort of healing spirit within us, we still may go through difficult times, but it just gets a little less bumpy. If we can know that we can connect to guidance, if we know that we can get to a place of stillness in our heart where we can start to feel peace, calmness, even just a little bit of warmth or serenity, it grounds us each day. Sometimes times of difficulty or stress can, as the Chinese koan says, can create more opportunity in our life. Difficult times can break us open to allow us to go to that next level. So, of course, we all want to do that. We want to get enough guidance so that we can navigate whatever's coming at us and say, okay, I'm letting go of old patterns that held me back. Maybe it seems upsetting, but let me just move through that and get to a place where I'm a lot more open, not only to my guidance, but to my own talents and abilities. Maybe I'm more open to living more happily. Maybe I'm more able to say, screw it, I'm just going to go to what makes me happy, and I'm going to be less catering to people where I've unconsciously let go of my own voice or my own path. So all of this is a great time of opportunity, I think. I'm going to be leading us in a meditation in the way I connect to the healer within. What do I consider the healer within to be? I would say it's where I go to feel either a voice other than my own, which is positive, by the way, where I would go to feel an energy that's calming, where I would go to just sort of center myself and feel just really different. Instead of getting triggered all the time, I can sort of pull myself into myself. Now, one of the ways I do that is through energy. There are many spiritual paths. And of course, I started out going to church and I still really connect with the idea of God or spirit. But I do feel, like Jim would say, that the best place to encounter God, spirit, light is actually within. We can go within ourselves and find that real strength. And I think that's what we carry forward in our life. I'm going to be leading a meditation where we connect to our own spirit within us. And then, because I'm a medical intuitive, I'm going to be using that to help us heal our body. So I want you to think a little bit in advance of where you want to put this energy in your body. If there's any place in your body that needs a little healing, and remember, that can be your mind too. If you suffer from depression, anxiety, even stress about an upcoming event, we can kind of think of like, where is that landing in my body? And how can I bring this spiritual energy to that place in my body? As we work with spiritual energy, and I'm sure I'm in a way preaching to the choir here because many of you are healers that are here on this call. But we realize that we can direct this healing energy and place it in certain parts of our body for healing. I've actually learned a lot more about this just from listening to Jim and some of his techniques too, where he really brings the light or that God energy into a certain part of the body and just sort of lets it sit there and clear whatever we are holding there in our body. So think about what part of your body you might want to clear. You may not have any physical illness or aches and pains, but one part of your body might feel kind of heavy. You might feel a certain chakra that gets closed a lot. Like if it's hard to speak up, your throat may get sore a lot or raspy, or you may think, oh, I can't really say those things. I'm already getting raspy. Well, anyway, but the point is, we can put our light there, and it sounds sort of incredible, but it actually works. It actually starts to heal us and lift it out of our body. I think another great place to connect with this spiritual energy is in the area of protection. And we may not be protecting ourselves against some horrible thing, but we all might have a meeting to go to, a family dinner to go to, a phone call we're not looking forward to, a confrontation with our child, our parent, our spouse, our boss. It's not like we want to cut them out of our life, but we feel like we need a little extra protection. We need a little extra feeling that I'm going to be safe in this conversation or this job or this event. And also, I can really connect to my own self and feel good about myself in this event. So that's what's really important about this energy is to first of all know it exists, to call it in when we need it, and then to feel the good effects of it. So if you're ready to meditate, this meditation will last about 20 to 25 minutes. So get yourself comfortable. Um, and we're just going to go into it. We're going to start out simply by breathing. You can lay down if you want, but sitting up is good because you'll be able to do some of the exercises a little bit better. But our main focus is focusing in on our body. And we're trying to sneak into our spiritual energy, our connection with our guides, more actually through the vehicle of our body. Why are we doing that? Because sometimes it's a little bit easier. Sometimes meditation and prayer can be a little intimidating. And we might have an idea of God of like, oh, I might ask for this, but maybe I don't deserve it, or blah, blah, blah. I like to go in more with the feeling of our chi, our life force energy, because everybody can relate to that. And that really is our divine light. So let's close our eyes and just start to breathe deeply. Now, in this meditation, there's not going to be any right way to do it. There is no right way. So throw away that idea and just sort of settle into yourself because all we really want is to feel, how am I feeling today? There's no right answers here. So again, let's breathe a little more deeply. Feel that breath go all the way past your chest, past your belly. Maybe even breathe all the way down your legs to your feet. How does that feel? All we're doing right now is relaxing. That's it. Another deep, deep breath. Now, when we take a deep breath, I want you to breathe all the way down as deeply as you can. And I want you to hold the breath for a moment. Now let it out when you feel ready. Just let it out. Why do we do that? Why do we hold the breath? It's because our body gets to a place of rest. We aren't breathing in, we aren't breathing out. We're just holding a space. So let's breathe in again. Hold the breath. Moment of silence and stillness. Breathe out whenever you feel like it. One more time, pull that breath in, hold it, Breathe it out. Now I want you to roll your head on your neck. Just roll it around. All we have to do now is relax. So hopefully we can do that. Just let your head go. Just roll it around. We store an awful lot of tension in the back of our neck. If you feel any pain or stress there, just roll over it very easily. Now we're going in the opposite direction. Again, we're rolling our head very easily, very easily. Now what we're going to do is raise our shoulders right up under our ears, and we're going to be as tense as we possibly can be. So push those shoulders up, feel all that tension in your shoulders, your neck. Oh, let it go. Let's do that one more time. Push the shoulders way, way up, almost touching your ears. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Now let it go. Now we're going to raise our hands to the ceiling. Our arms are reached up right as high as we can. That stretch goes from the base of your spine up through your back, your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, right up to your hands. And now let's stretch up a little higher. Let's see if we can stretch a little bit more. When our hands start to come down, however, they are going to float down very slowly. So let's do that now. It's like your hands are weightless. It's like you have to push yourself through the snow to get your hands down, and they're not coming down very easily because your whole body is weightless. Your hands are weightless, your arms are weightless, your body is just floating. What does that feel like? Suddenly you don't weigh anything. You're just light. You're just a light spirit. Now, if you're sitting down, I want you to rotate on your hips. How do we do that? Well, we just lean forward, we lean to the side, we lean to the back, we lean to the other side. We're going to go around and around. Why are we doing this? Well, it's just to relax our back. It's just to sort of get any kinks out of our lower back. Just let it get a little bit relaxed, a little bit warm here. So just go around and around. Just lean into it. If there's any pain in your lower back, just be very gentle. Just go over it very gently. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction. Same circle, just a different direction. Just leaning into it. Just relaxing. Your back might get relaxed and feel a little bit rubbery. Maybe if there's any pain or stress, it's just getting ironed out very slowly, very slowly. Now I want us to sit up straight, or if you're lying, just lie still. Our next job is to just feel our body. Again, there's no right answer. So, what does your body feel like today? Are there certain areas that are causing you trouble? Do you feel good? Do you feel warm in some areas? Do you feel tingling? Do you feel any pain? Do you feel stiffness? Let's just take a moment to feel. Now I want you to imagine a bright, bright light coming down to the top of your head. It just fills your body. We're calling it in the name of God, Creator, Great Spirit. It's this universal divine energy, Holy Spirit, that's always in us, always filling us, whether we realize it or not. It's our chi, our life force energy. It rushes down our legs, it rushes down our arms, it swirls around our chest. It might feel kind of warm, it might feel kind of buzzy. What is it feeling like to you? There's so much energy. First of all, it's always coming to the top of our head. If you have a hard time visualizing light, just imagine you're standing under a waterfall with the water pelting on you, or you're standing on a hill and the wind is just blowing right through you. This is our beautiful cosmic energy. It's always in us, it's our pulse. It's always moving, it's always there. It flows outside of our body and it creates an energy field all around us, even if we aren't really conscious of it. When the light hits that energy field, it's our aura. Now, as we get that energy field stronger and stronger, you're going to notice an amazing thing, which is you feel more and more protected. And more negative people and things are not going to be able to reach you because you have this wonderful protection. So I want you to imagine this beautiful shield of light all around you now. If you have a hard time with the concept of light, if you're not visual, see if you can feel energy. If you're not feeling anything, don't give up because at least a third of people don't see or feel. So you're one of those people that's just going to say to yourself, I call in my guides and angels and I ask for a strong energy field and I ask for protection around me. Just by saying that in your mind, it works. So let's focus on that protection right now. Remember, there's always more light pouring in through the top of your head. If you're visual, you can actually imagine it filling this space up and even making it bigger or making it lighter. You can ask your angels to intend that. I want it bigger. I want a stronger protection around me. What does that feel like? So many times we get diverted in our spiritual path where we think we have to say certain things or memorize prayers. And of course, all those things are good, but the real immediate life force, divine energy can be there just immediately, just by feeling it, calling it in, just knowing which part of your body can have a little tingle or a little warmth. The divine energy is never that far away from you. We don't have to jump through hoops to get it. It's very important for us to just feel that it's there all the time and feel confident that we can be protected by it. One great way to feel our chi or life force energy is to go to our heart. You might feel a little warm or a little tingly in your heart. And I want you to think back in the last week or two of any things that you experienced that made you feel joy, happiness, even just contentment, calmness, peace. It doesn't have to be a huge event. It could be walking your dog, having your favorite kind of coffee, watching TV. It's not that complicated because we all have access to happiness, comfort, and joy. The main important thing is how did it feel in your heart? And I want you to think about some of those feelings right now and some of those memories. Your heart is kind of a generator of chi or divine energy. We may feel sometimes when life gets difficult that we're being too much of a Pollyanna to think things are positive or think things are going to work out, stuff like that. But we forget the power of that positive energy, the positive energy that comes into our heart and makes us feel really safe and happy. We can't really underestimate it because that runs the whole machine. If we get too overloaded by negativity or stress or thinking we have to do this, that, or we're not going to be able to do this, our life energy starts to go down. It really is a very practical thing to stay positive. It's a practical thing to take steps in your life to shield yourself from negativity at the very least. Deal with it in the morning, not in the evening. Try to see a funny movie. Try to relax. Try to connect with that feeling of happiness or joy or even just neutrality. Because the negativity can start pulling energy from us. And that's why we also want a strong energy field around us. Now we're going to do an exercise where we give ourselves a little bit more energy. This is a whole new way of giving ourselves energy, of connecting ourselves to the divine source. So I want you to put your hands out in front of your heart, palms up, just like you had an apple or an orange in your hands. So imagine that there's a ball of light, a ball of energy in your hands. Some of you can feel it. Might feel the warmth. You might feel the energy of the friction. Some of you might see a color showing up of the energy or the light. Just focus on it for a moment. The energy might feel heavy. It might feel light. Might feel warm. Might be getting bigger or smaller. What are you feeling? So we say to ourselves, Dearest God, Creator, I accept this gift of love that you're giving me today. So that's what this energy is. It's a gift. Now put your attention back on your hands, back on that energy in your hands. Has it changed at all? Do you still feel it? I want you to put that energy right into your heart. Now, can you feel that? We say to ourselves, I receive it in my heart and in my life. Now we're calling in your guides and your angels here, divine beings that are with you all the time. If it's hard for you to perceive that energy, I want you to accept it anyway. It's a gift from God. It's coming into your energy center. It's making you stronger and more filled with divine energy. Now let's put our hands out one more time. There's another ball of energy or light in your hands. Now, how about this one? Are you perceiving it? Are you feeling it? Feel it for a moment. Now, this is a gift the universe is giving to you today, just you personally. It might be the answer to a certain problem. It might be a shift in a relationship. It might just be joy. It might be prosperity. It might be courage. might be patience. What do you suppose this gift is coming from the universe to you today? Can you tune in with the help of your guides and angels? What is it you're being given today? So again, we say, Dearest God, Creator, I accept the gift that you're giving me today. I accept it. Now, does the energy in your hands, has it changed any? Is it a different color? Is it a different message, a different feeling? How are you perceiving it? Now, I want you to take that gift, put it right in your heart. One of the most important things about this energy work is we have to receive. Probably most people that have tuned in today are empaths. You're probably also a giver. You probably give a great deal. That's a beautiful thing, but remember, you've got to receive too. The universe is always giving you things, whether you realize it or not. But we always have to accept what is being given to us and saying we're open to gifts, we're open to energy. If some of you have felt a little shift in your body as we were doing this work, maybe a tingling, a buzzing, a ringing in your ears, a warmth in your heart, if it's connecting to your own feelings about divine energy, your guides and angels, this is great because this is one more tool in your toolbox to connect to your divine energy, hopefully daily. It's not just a once a week or a once a month thing. The more we connect to our divine energy, the more we're bringing a sort of a seamless energy into our lives that makes our life a little bit easier. Now, one of the things I really want to focus on again is the idea of protection, because many people go through life, like I say, over giving. Now, we're probably programmed to do that. But the point is that we need to protect ourselves so that we don't get drained every day. The more that we are a light in the world, I mean, think about it. Your average light bulb, it has glass. It has a glass side to it. The light isn't just there, it has protection. So it's really helpful for you to think of yourself that way too. Think of yourself as a balloon, a bubble, where you can be in the light, but you also have a protective wall. Try to think of some image for yourself that's fun, easy, so that if you suddenly need protection, like before a phone call, before a meeting, before a trip, you can just sit down and imagine that ball of light around you, and you can see that you're in the light, but there's also a protective wall around you. So, why don't we do that one more time? Go back to the light in your heart that was just filled up with so much divine energy. See the light all throughout your body. And again, if you're not seeing or feeling anything, we're calling in your guides and angels and we're just choosing it. We're proclaiming it. We're saying, I am filled with light. I allow my guides and angels to fill me with light. I allow my guides and angels to protect me with light. But if you have a little visual image, sometimes that can really help. So imagine that now. Just see a little bubble of light protecting you. Think about the things that may be coming up this week. Now, it doesn't mean they're horrible things, but if they're giving you any kind of stress, imagine the event out there and see this little wall of light between you and the event, between you and the person. It doesn't mean you don't like those people. They may be people very close to us, but we still need to hold on to our energy and not get drained. Sometimes the people that are the most closest to us, we want to give them everything. I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. But in practice, if we do give them everything, we get really drained. It's a different concept to realize that we can be protected with light. And as we shine out our light, as our battery is full, as we're fully energized, we're actually giving to everybody around us, our family, our friends, our spouse, our children, our job. We're actually giving them more light than if we let ourselves get drained. So again, I want you to go back into your body. I want you to think of an event recently where you did feel kind of drained, okay? Doesn't have to be dramatic, but anywhere where you feel a little tired out, a little stressed out by somebody or something. What did that feel like? Now I want you to imagine the light coming down into your body and just sort of filling you up with light so that all the areas that got drained are now getting full of energy. We're calling in your guides and your angels, divine energy, to help you see this and feel this. So let's give it a moment here. Mainly, we can understand that we can be a giving person. We can help everybody 24/7, but we can still feel really strong and energized ourselves. But it takes a little conscious awareness. So, again, let's feel our body so full of energy, so full of light. There's tons of light pouring down to the top of our head. There's all this light buzzing in our heart, all this energy just going through our entire body. And now I want you to think about a part of your body that feels, may have pain, may have a little illness, may have a problem, may just feel blocked. So, again, let's close our eyes and focus in on that one part of our body that we'd really like to heal. If it's just a case of mental confusion, depression, anxiety, maybe go to the place where you feel it most, whether it's your head, whether you feel anxiety in your stomach. We don't have to be super precise. I just want you to think about what you would like to bring this divine energy to heal today. Now, we've seen the light coming down through the top of our head, or we felt it. We're calling in our guides and our angels to heal this one part of our body or one part of our psyche that we really would like to heal today. Now imagine that light, kind of like a flashlight, going to that part of your body right now. Imagine the light just flooding that place. And we're just going to sit with it for a moment. We're calling in the Holy Spirit to heal us. We're calling in the divine energy, our guides and angels. The highest form the highest vibration to come in and realign our energy, to realign our body towards health. Some of you might just be calling it in. Others might see light going to a particular thing. Others might feel a little warmth. Now, as that area fills up with the light or the divine energy, are you getting any images? First of all, are you getting an intense feeling of pain? Is something coming up like a memory from your childhood? Or even just an emotional upset that seems to be connected with this place? I want you to focus in on it. We don't have to just wallow in it, but I do want you to stay present with it for at least a moment. And I want you to imagine the light pouring down on these feelings. Does this part of your body have fear? Can we let the light come onto the fear and start to dissolve it? If there's a person, a relationship, or a memory that's coming up for you, imagine the light just bathing that. Put it all into the light and just sit back and watch like you're an observer. Just let the light come into the whole picture. If fear or pain is coming up, let's ask the Holy Spirit, let's ask this divine energy to start healing it and dissipating it. Just imagine a bright light shining on it and just say to your guides and angels, you're willing to let it go. Just feel the light come in and allow you to let go of it. If it's hard to let go, I want you to imagine your angels standing right in front of you. And I want you to give them your pain. I want you to give them your fear. See them take it in their hands. If this pain or this fear seems connected to a certain person, your angel can cut the cord between you and this person, just to allow you not to be drained or not to be hurt by this person. You can do that now or ask for that now. if you feel you need it. If you have a hard time believing that you deserve to let go of this pain, this fear, this anxiety, we're calling in the Holy Spirit, we're calling in your guides and angels, and we're asking them to help you feel that you deserve to be free of pain, free of anxiety, free of fear, that this whole part of your body, that your whole soul can be healed. And we're asking that you deep down feel you deserve it and you can own that today. Now, the whole area is glowing with a golden light. I want you to imagine your angels wrapping bandages of light around that whole part of your body. They're going to continue healing you in the days to come. And you're allowing the highest light beings and the highest vibration to continue to heal you. Feel the golden light in that part of your body. Feel the warmth. Now I want you to imagine that golden light and that warmth spreading all throughout your body. Just going from one part of your body to another until you're completely encased in this warm golden light. And this golden light is going to your head too. And it's allowing you to realize that you deserve to be healed, that you deserve to feel joy, that the ultimate of divine energy is always to bring us into balance, peace, and a sense of physical well being. And we're accepting that today. And we're opening the door for our angels to come back, continue to heal us, and even continue to give us wisdom, guidance, maybe dreams or visions at night, maybe ideas during the daytime to strengthen our connection with this beautiful divine energy. So let's go back to our breath. Take a deep breath. Another deep, deep breath. We're slowly coming back to the room now. Stretch. When you feel ready, just open your eyes. We're going to have a 10-minute break now. So get some tea or some coffee or get comfortable. Jim is going to have an amazing meditation for you. So again, that will be at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Let's come back and see these wonderful meditations that Jim has for us. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome back. Can everybody hear me and see me okay? Yes, good. Hey, Tim, how are you? John, nice to see you again. Mike, yeah, see a lot of familiar people here. Well, welcome to the class. Um, you know, um, this is a really important concept to understand. And the deeper you understand it, the more the light works through you as your protector, as your guidance, as your wisdom, as a co-creator. Just letting a couple people in here. Um, and you know, there's this relationship with this healer within us needs to become like our priority because if you filter everything through that relationship, you naturally get um, a lot of help that we never understand, but it comes. And we don't have to think about it. We don't have to do anything about it. We just have to allow it. Okay. Um, uh, Back in like in the probably the early 2000s, I spent a long time studying mysticism. And it was taught by a Christian mystic named Joel Goldsmith. And he was dead long before that, but I had been to a spiritual event one time by a guy. Um, his name was Ron Roth. I don't know if anybody's met him or not or worked with him, but he was a conduit of the Holy Spirit, and he had the gift of healing. He had a spiritual gift of healing, and I went to one of his events at the Unity Church, I think in Laguna, and there was a few hundred people there, and he called this one lady up on stage and she was kind of bent over. She was really kind of, you know, um, malformed. And one leg was about 3 or 4 inches shorter than the other one. And he said, "Watch this." And he touched the back of her spine. And immediately she straightened up and her leg grew. And I was like, whoa, right? This was really my first introduction to spiritual healing. And I just said, whoa. And he healed quite a few other people instantly. And he never really did anything except for touch them. And they all were healed, or most of them were healed. And then he kind of filled the whole room with light. And we all kind of received it. And it felt really peaceful. And at the end of the event, he goes, "Who wants to learn how to do this?" And I was like, I do because I'd studied hypnotism. I'd studied, how the mind worked. I'd spent my whole life trying to understand human consciousness, and this was way above it, you know, it was way above it. And so I raised my hand and they passed out all of these papers, and on the papers there were lists of books to read. And most all the books were by Joe Goldsmith, who was a mystic in the 50s, 60s, and he also had a spiritual healing gift. Okay. So I spent years, hours a day studying the principles of spiritual healing so I could understand them. And I was fortunate financially, so I also traveled all over the world being in the presence of people who could perform spiritual healings and could demonstrate it. And I remember with Joe Goldsmith, near the end of his life, he said that a church came up to him and said, "We want you to teach our people at the church how to do what you do." And he said he had this meeting with the higher ups of the church. And he said, "So you mean you want me to teach them that the same spirit that healed through Christ, the Holy Spirit, is also within you? And it can do through you what it did through Christ, but you just got to get to know it." And they said, "No, no, that's not what they wanted kind of like an upper hand on some other people. But bottom line, he says, that's the truth. He said, the consciousness that comes through me to heal isn't mine and it isn't me personally. It's a gift and it chose me to come through. Okay. And so over years, I've gone and been in front of a lot of people who have the same gift. And they all say that this gift is yours for the asking, for the taking. It doesn't have to be, provided by someone else. You can find it within yourself. So then I kind of worked with that for a while. But everybody that I've known that could do spiritual healing, profound healing, never took personal credit for it. They all said it was a gift and it came from, some people call it God, some people call it the Holy Spirit, some people call it light. But it chose them and it works through them. Okay. And they don't have to understand it. That's the key thing is when I was learning all this stuff, I wanted to understand it. And I realized at a certain point that you don't have to understand it. You just need to learn how to access it and open yourself to it. Okay. It knows how to do anything and it can do anything. It can heal, outside of our universal laws on this planet. It can heal cancer in an instant, and it knows how to do it. But it gets to choose whether it wants to do it or not. We don't get to force it. Okay. So, anyway, this is the healer within us, and it's within each one of us. So, what I wanted to spend my time on in this class is helping understand that it's there, what it can do, and what blocks it. Because we block it, right? We block it by not believing in it, right? If you look at the Bible, every time Christ healed someone, it was because of your faith you are healed. Because of your belief, you're healed. Okay? So if we doubt things, we shut the door to them. Okay? And that's the power we have as human beings. We can be open or we could be closed. Okay? We can say yes, we can say no. Okay? So later on, like way later on, after I learned these things and I watched people that had this gift of healing from the Holy Spirit, who, if anybody wants a list of them, just email us. I'm happy to send them. Um, but after I watched this and I learned about it, Abby and I were meditating one time in preparation to a class, and we called in the divine light, and we called in our guides. And I asked, "Am I prepared for this class?" And I kind of heard, "Yeah, like you'll do fine." And I was like, "Okay." And they said, "But you don't understand." I said, "What don't I understand?" And they said, "There's beings from a much higher dimension coming through to do the healing and to do the transformation. It's not something you can do. You're a bridge." And I was like, "I got it." Takes all the pressure off of me, right? And Abby and anyone else that's a bridge, right? Um, but when you start to realize that you have access to this power and access to this light, and it knows everything. The characteristics of the divine are, and this is one thing that drilled through me in mysticism, was God is omnipresent everywhere, omniscient, all knowing, and omnipotent, all powerful. Okay. Those were like the three principles that they just drilled into us. Okay. The other things outside of that was all loving, all forgiving, and all always wants to lift and heal you. Okay. It never destroys, it's never destructive. Okay. Um, but so when people ask for us for prayers, all I do is I connect to this divine energy and I recognize that it's omnipresent and that it's all knowing and that it's all powerful. And I ask it to reveal itself in the person that asked for the prayer and be active in them. And as it reveals itself in them and is active in them, if it's all knowing, it knows what's wrong with them. Way more than I could ever understand if they told me, right? If it's all powerful, it's more powerful than anything that's causing them destruction. Okay. And if it's omnipresent, it's within every cell of their body. Okay. And it's also active on the mental realm, the physical realm, the spiritual realm, and the emotional realm, because healing encompasses all of those realms, right? When I work with people who have illnesses in their body or emotional blocks in their body or um, you know, different kinds of elements in their body, my guides always tell me to look for the emotional component because I can feel when I work with someone, I can feel what they're feeling. And so I look at the emotional component. If it's hate, I clear the hate. Okay. If it's fear, I clear the fear. If it's anger, I clear the anger. And I keep clearing it until it's gone. And as that happens, the body feels better and the person feels better. Okay. But um, one thing that I do, and I think Abby did this in her meditation, was I consciously bring divine light to that area of their body, and I ask it to heal them mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and give them exactly what they need for their highest good. And then I get out of the way and I just hold that connection. And in holding that connection, you hold the activity of it. Okay. And it's really amazing because, that as you get connected to the healer within you, really what you're getting connected to is the Holy Spirit or divine light. But as you start to feel it, it starts to become part of you. And then as you start to learn what it can do, you start to use it more and more often, right? If I work with an avatar that's uh, she's an intermediary for the divine feminine energy, okay? And she brings divine light to the world. And one of the things she always says is, if you don't understand something, pray for me for understanding, okay? Again, let's call in the healer within because it's within you and say, I don't understand this. Please help me understand it. And when that happens, when you get understanding, you get healing. Because, like Joe Goldsmith, in one of his last books, he wrote, all healing is a shift of perception, right? All healing is nothing more than a shift of perception. It has to have a shift of perception in it, okay? And with the shift of perception comes a shift of energy. Because if you believe something's bad, you have feelings as if it's bad, right? Once the perception shifts and you understand it, the feelings go away. If the feeling goes away, the energy block goes away. If the energy block goes away, the body naturally can have chi coming through it again, right? Which is life force energy, right? We block it by being resistant or being closed, okay? So let me just kind of go over a little bit of notes from what I wrote about the outline of this class. Um, One of the things I want to cover is the nature of God and the nature of darkness, okay, or the nature of light, let's say, and the nature of darkness. Okay. The light is the healer within you. Okay. Darkness is fear. It's always fear-based. It's always destructive, and it always brings contraction and shuts you down. Okay. If you go into, like, let's say a company that's full of darkness, you'll notice it's full of fear. And everybody's operating out of fear. So they're stuck in their minds. They're not connected to their heart. Okay. Because when you're blocked with fear, light can't get in. When you're blocked with doubt, light can't get in. When you believe that evil is more powerful than light, you block the light. And you also are constantly in defense. Okay. You're trying to protect yourself because you don't trust there's something inside you that knows how to do it. Okay. And knows how to heal you. But the nature of light is, or the nature of God is always loving, always healing. It can never be lied to. It knows the truth about everything. Okay. You can't lie to it. Okay. Even if you're lying to yourself, you can't lie to it. Okay. So, um, and it knows how to correct something. Right. I was reading a book one time, and I think it was called The Art of Spiritual Healing. Um, might have been called that. But it was a book channeled by Jesus, and in the book, it had like a daily thing like the Course of Miracles. And one day it said, if you're suffering, can you begin to perceive that you're misperceiving something? And I was like, yeah. If light is love, if we're suffering, we're not connected. Okay. So I was like, yeah. And then he said, if you can accept that, can you also accept from where I'm standing, and this is Jesus talking, I've corrected the perceptions of myself and can correct them in you. And I was like, yeah, right. So w one of the things about working with this healer within yourself is when you notice that you're suffering, take that as a signal that you're in your mind and you're misperceiving something and you need help. Okay. And then just call in the divine light and say, please help me with this. Please heal my perceptions. Please heal my thoughts. Please heal the memories associated with this. And please bring me right understanding. And it might take a couple of days. When it comes, you'll have no suffering and you'll understand whatever it was that you were misunderstanding. And with that, you've stepped back into your power because truth is your power. Okay. So we always have the choice. If we feel like I think Abby said in her meditation, if you feel fear, offer it to the light. Let the light come in and heal it. Okay. What a lot of people do is when they feel fear, they go into reactive mode and they try to change whatever's going on in their life that's creating fear coming up. But they're working in the outside world. Okay. So if we have fear of lack, we work harder and harder and harder to get money. Okay. But we haven't healed our beliefs about abundance. So we keep recreating this illusion of lack, that lack is real, right? And until we heal what's going on inside of us, the outside world doesn't really heal permanently. Does that make sense? Okay. So, if you can take one thing out of this class, it's that there's a consciousness within you that's all knowing, that's all loving, and that only wants you to feel like love and joy and create things that are meaningful. Okay. To live out your purpose and to heal whatever you need to heal in yourself to live out that purpose. Okay. So you want to put that relationship first. Okay. Most people are like, well, when I get over my fear, then I'll think about that. Well, no, you don't. You go through your whatever that life brings you, and you bring this consciousness with you to help you sort it out. Okay. I work with a lot of people that are going through like nasty divorces or they've got court cases. I worked with this one person that I don't know how many court cases she had, but she had a ton. And every time I worked with her, it was part of a divorce, but every time I worked with her, I just brought light to her divorce case. And I made sure it was active within everybody that was engaged with this divorce case. And she won every single case. Like, and I just told her, I said, look, every time you win, watch what the divine did for you and increase your faith in it, right? Learn to trust that it's there, right? Ask for protection. Okay. I was working with someone yesterday and she's going into something today that's really a challenging event. And I just said, let's bring light for protection for you before you even get there, right? And when I was sitting with it, I could see that there was a part of her not trusting, right? And when I looked under that, I could see that she felt guilty, right? Like there was old guilt in her. Okay. And a lot of times what blocks light from working on us is that we've been taught to feel guilty and not let go of it. And we believe that we deserve to be punished. Okay. So that creates fear. That needs to be healed. Because once that's healed, your connection with the light's pure again. Does that make sense? Okay. So, most of the people I studied, a lot of things I heard was, well, how often you should connect to light? Always. Okay. I was working on a legal case one time, and this is when I was running a multi-million-dollar business. And I was getting all these emails, and I was clearing the emails with light. I would just there's a Ho'oponopono technique where you can bring light to things that are in paper, right? So I was doing this and I was asking my guides, I said, how come I have to bring light to everything? Like every email, every piece of paper. And they said, because darkness works full time, so you need to contact light all the time. Because there's a law of resonance that I just wrote a blog about. In this world, there's a universal law of resonance that the higher frequency always will dominate. Okay. So if you have a lot of fear in you and you just call in the light and you open yourself to it, that fear is going to dissolve. Okay. And when you're in fear, all of your thoughts are fear based, right? Because you're wounded and all of your thoughts are trying to think of a defensive mechanism to make the fear go away. Right? The bottom line is we want to let the fear come up. We want the light to erase it so that we no longer have it. Right? And that's, you look at that like in children, if anybody that's had children, if your child comes home from school and they're scared and they're like, Mom, Dad, this guy bullied me at school and all this stuff happened and they're projecting fear. If you're empathic, you're going to feel their fear. And if you haven't made friends with the feeling of fear yet, you're going to try to make it go away by distracting them. So they're not projecting it anymore, right? And what you want to learn to do is when emotions like fear, anger, hate, frustration, any of those fears come up or any of those emotions come up, realize that you're in your mind and you need to reconnect to light. Okay. And you need to ask the light to cleanse you of it. Okay. And just allow the feelings to come up because it's energy that's been repressed. And it doesn't have to be yours. It could be generational, it could be ancestral, but let it come up and just offer it gently into the light. And as you do that, it will automatically dissolve into nothing. Okay. And as you do that more and more often, you'll realize that, okay, I used to be afraid all the time, but I'm not afraid anymore. And I don't know why. Right? That's the power of working with this healer within you. Okay? You got to learn to trust it and know that it can do things that you could never even understand. Okay? It can protect you in ways that you never could understand. You just have to ask for it. Ask like a child, ask as much as you want. Okay. Sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you'll get it quickly, sometimes you'll get it over time, but you'll always get help, right? But you got to ask. Okay. Um, and another thing is a lot of people, when they're in fear, okay, they're always trying to do something to make the fear go away. Take time to ask for protection. Okay. People use fear sometimes as a form of protection. I deal with it with people who've been abused. They're afraid of the opposite sex because they're abused by it. And they hold on to that fear thinking it's going to protect them from ever getting hurt again. But they are always in fear. Okay. And the truth of the matter is, ask the divine light to come in and protect you and heal your thoughts and memories about what happened to you so you're free of it. Okay. Um, so how do we connect to light? How do we connect to this healer inside of ourselves? We just ask. Okay. I was at a Yogananda center in about somewhere in the 2010, 2015 area. And I used to go there and meditate before their sermon. I don't know if anybody's been to Yogananda centers, but it's got a really high grid and they're all over the place. Very good teaching, very high grid. And they have group meditations before their services. And there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of light. Okay. People ask, how do you connect with light? Well, you find high frequency places and you let them introduce you to it, right? So Abby and I just did a retreat in Sedona. We're doing another one in April where we took people to vortexes and let them sit in the energy. Okay. That energy is a very high vibration. And with it, there's truth. It's like an antenna to truth. Okay. So one day I was at Yogananda and I'm sitting there meditating. And after meditation, I usually would leave before the sermon started and I'd go get my family donuts. Okay. There's a good donut shop down the street. So on this occasion, it was like an hour meditation. At the end of the meditation, my guide said, stay for the service. And I was like, why? I'd studied mysticism for a lot of years. And they're like, just stay. So I stayed, and the guy came out, and they wear like orange robes. And we did another meditation to open the ceremony. And he says, the message I want to give you today is pretty simple. And I was like, okay. And he says, God is omnipresent, which means it's always with you. And as soon as you recognize that, you're open to it. As soon as you turn to it, it's there. Okay. And it hears everything, it knows every thought, but you got to invite it in. And that was the whole message I needed. Right. So when we're lost in fear or anger or whatever, notice that we're not thinking about our connection to that healer within us. We're spinning in our minds. And if we can just take the time and connect to the healer, we start to heal. Okay. Because when the healer comes in or when it's activated, it starts to heal anything that's currently active. Okay. It starts to unravel it. Okay. So we want to take time and let the light go first. If you have a challenge in life, offer it to the divine. Say, okay, I offer you this meeting I'm going to have. Please go before me and please provide protection, guidance, wisdom, and anything else that's needed for my highest and best good in this meeting, or for everybody's highest and best good. And you'll watch that all of the drama goes away, right? It's like, why doesn't everybody use that? They don't know they can. They don't know that it's their right to use it. Okay. So, in order to connect with light, we just want to be present. You know, if you ever studied Eckhart Tolle, it's all about being present, being in the now. Why? Because when we go into our breath and we go into the now, we come out of the mind. And when we come out of the mind, that divine healer within us comes to life. And we don't have to think. We just have to be open. Okay. Um, So like if you look at what Yogananda taught, it was like take the time to know that it's already there and turn to put your attention on it. That's prayer. Anytime you talk to the divine, you're praying. Doesn't have to be, something that the church teaches you. It's a personal relationship. Okay. And be honest because the divine will never punish you for misperceiving anything. It'll correct your perceptions. Right? So some of the most powerful healings I've done on myself were realizing, okay, I don't understand this and I don't know what to do. I don't have any idea if this is a lesson for me or if this is something where I'm misperceiving and miscreating. Help me figure it out. And I'm just sincere. And then over the next day or so, I shift and I don't know how it happens. All of a sudden I'll like wake up in the morning and I'll just know what to do or I'll understand something. Okay. It didn't come from thinking and trying to figure it out. It came from allowing it to come in. Right. And that's what we want to learn. We all have this divine consciousness within us, and it's about having an intimate relationship with it, learning to trust it, and asking and being open to receive. Okay. And it knows how to heal everything. It can heal everything. Okay. It's the greatest psychologist there is because it knows the truth about everything. Okay. Can't be lied to. So to connect to it, just turn your attention to it and talk to it. And then be still. Get out of your head, get into your heart. Put your hands here, and that'll take your energy from your head to your heart. And then just go into your breath. And you might feel whatever's going in your body from being in your mind, and just acknowledge that it's there and ask this healer within you to take it out and transmute it into light. It knows how to do it, right? I tell people, have you ever like cooked like fish in your kitchen with the windows closed, right? And it smells up your whole kitchen, right? And it's like, oh God, the whole house smells. So you walk over and open a window, and somehow the fresh air knows how to come in and clean the odor. Okay. It's the same way with connecting to the divine. When you call in light, it knows how to come in and clear anything that's not real, anything that's not for your highest good. It just knows how to clear it. You don't need to know the details. You just have to call it in and be open. And as you learn to do it, you'll clear things in like 10 minutes, right? Big things sometimes. Okay. And as you learn to, if you're facing a challenge, to take the time to bring in this healer within you and send it in front of you to help you meet this challenge, you'll notice you'll get guidance naturally. Okay. And a lot of times it will kind of like form a grid in the environment you're going into to where nobody's allowed to act up. It just suppresses it all. It dissolves it before you even get there. Okay. And one of the court cases I worked with, I sent light to the judge, I sent light to the lawyers, I sent light to the opposing counsel, all the people. And the person that was the opposition person made such a fool of themselves in front of the judge just laughed everything out of court. They got so emotional, started attacking everybody, including the judge, right? And it was like, well, how did that happen? And the person I was helping didn't have to say a word. It just happened. Okay. So this is something that's made to use in this world. It's not, it's something we come in here that's our birthright to connect to this energy and use it to heal us and heal our environments and to bring the gifts that we're supposed to bring to this world. It comes from the light. It doesn't come from your mind. Okay. So, okay. So if the light's always present, what blocks us from connecting to it? Okay. Um, Emotions are like number one. Okay. If we're full of fear, full of anger, full of hate, it's a different frequency than the divine light. And so we're on a different channel. And it's up to us to at least call it in and offer those things to it in order to reattune ourselves to light. Okay. And I do a lot of work with people to help them clear like lifetimes worth of fear. And it usually takes a few weeks. And after that, they're like, I don't feel fear in my body. It feels good. Okay. But they also realize that their mind naturally quieted down and their thoughts became clear because they're no longer thinking from fear. Okay. It was just bringing them into the light and letting the light wash it out of them. Okay. And I'm going to do that a little bit in our meditation today. Um, so start to pay attention to your emotions. What's active in you? If it's something to do with anger, fear, hate, judgment, things have to be a certain way, learn to let them go and then use it as a signal to call up this healer within yourself. Okay, call in the divine. Attachment and resistance. When something can't be a certain way or it has to be a certain way, let that go. Okay? Because you're putting yourself in front of the light and you're saying, I'm in charge here and I can't bear to be another way. And you shut off possibilities for the healing to happen. Okay. If you're not open, the light can't work with you. Does that make sense? Okay. Um, and then a couple things that I've learned that are really powerful that I use all the time about using this healer within yourself is if you don't understand something, don't try to figure it out with your mind. Ask for understanding. Say, just be honest and say, I don't understand this. Please help me to understand this in the light of truth. Okay. And then completely let this part of you that knows everything and knows what's real and knows what's illusional to heal it within you. Okay. Let it come from that level of light. When it comes in, you'll be healed and you'll understand whatever that is. So if you're experiencing a lot of lack in your life, ask the divine to help you understand the laws of abundance. Okay. If your business is suffering, ask the light to help you understand the spiritual laws of business and let them come. And as they come, you'll demonstrate them. Does that make sense? Okay. But it's an extremely powerful tool to heal your mind and your thoughts. And don't blame yourself for misperceiving things because it was there long before you were born. You were born into it. So just say, okay, I need to heal this. That's it. Okay. Um, Pay attention to emotions. If you're in an emotional charge, know that A, your spiritual guidance will be blocked, and B, the only way to heal it is to connect to light because you can't heal it from the vibration of the wound. You can only defend. Okay. So let the light go first and help you heal it. I work with a lot of people that are like taught lessons and some of the harder lessons are to become fearless, okay, for people because they have to face fears to do it. And the other one is to learn to stand up for themselves because underneath that lesson, they have to learn that they're worthy. They have to learn, it's like they've been suppressed by all these bullies and they have to outgrow all that stuff. But it's easy to do. It's really not hard if you put light first. If you let the healer within you lead the way, or find someone that's already got a really good relationship with that light and can hold it for you. Sometimes our wounds are so big we can't hold light because our wounds are overwhelming. That's when you need an intermediary that can be a bridge between you and the light. Okay. And that's what Abby and I both do, and a lot of other people. Okay. Um, I think that's good enough. Um, let's go into a meditation and have more of an intimate experience with this. Okay? Okay. So again, to connect to light, we just want to start to be present. Okay. So just go into your breath. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and release it. Take another deep breath and let it go. And now I want you to ask this divine light that's been here forever and will always be here. Some call it the Holy Spirit, some call it God, some call it just light. Ask that to start to reveal itself in you, to become alive in you. And then call in your spiritual guides and angels. And then just go into your breath and see if you feel anything, if you feel a presence. Some people feel the presence, sense of expansion, sense of peace. Other people might see light. Other people might hear a buzzing sensation. They're actually hearing the sound or the frequency of the light. And as Abby said, some people don't see anything at all. But you can be assured that the light's with you. It's always with you. So just invite it to express itself, to expand itself within you. And know that as it expands itself in you, it's already begun to heal things. It's already begun to transmute things. And now when you breathe, I want you to breathe this light into your body. Let it fill up your body. So when you breathe in, pull in the light and just be open to it. When you exhale, just let go. Breathe in light. And then just let go. Just let the energy of the light build in you. And give it permission to heal anything that no longer serves you. And you might realize that right now you're completely safe. In the present moment, you have everything you need. And this connection can supply you things that you could never dream of or that you didn't even know you need. And it knows what you need. If there's any parts in your body that need healing, when you breathe in, just breathe the light into that part of your body. Breathe it in and just hold it in that part of your body and let it expand and give it permission to heal whatever the cause is of that part. Anything going on mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually that's causing that in your body. And then just allow it to take charge. Allow it to go back through all time. To heal anything that created that in your body. And you can just breathe light into that part of your body. Hold it for a couple seconds. Let it expand. And then just exhale whatever no longer serves you from that part of your body back into the light. Breathe in, hold it. If emotions come up, let them come up. And when you breathe out, just release the emotion gently. Breathe in, hold the light where healing is needed. Allow it to be the healer. And release. And just let the presence of this light grow stronger and stronger. Now, as the light continues to heal your body, let's think about some place in your life to where you're not understanding something and it's been causing suffering. Could be something to do with your relationships, your work, your finances. Just find something that you really want help in understanding and healing your perceptions on. And then just put part of your attention on this light, feel it. And offer that you need understanding for to the light and ask it to help you understand it, to bring divine discernment to where you see the situation in the light of truth and that you understand what to do. And then give the light permission to bring understanding to you over the next several days until it's completely understood. Just ask for help. You know, if you think about when you're a child, you asked your parents for help all the time. But now you're going to learn how to ask your divine parent for help. And when you ask your divine parent for help, it has perfect consciousness and it knows how to heal anything. And it wants to heal you. So learn to ask it for help. Learn to ask it for understanding. Learn to ask it for protection, for wisdom, for guidance. These are all gifts that can be brought through the light to you. Now, that situation that you ask for wisdom and guidance for, understanding, I want you just to let the light engulf that and imagine a whole light ball around it, that the light's completely saturated in it. And when the connection's strong, just bring that into your heart and ask the light to keep working on it until you have complete understanding and divine resolution. And now let's go to a future event. Let's think of an event that you've got coming up that you're not sure how to deal with, or that seems like a big challenge, maybe full of conflict or emotional energy. I want you to look into the future at that event and ask this light to go before you and to start preparing that event for you so that when you arrive, it's already been healed. It's already been marinating in this light. And that when you arrive, there's divine protection there for you. There's divine wisdom and guidance waiting for you. And that everyone attending is protected by this light. And just watch the light fill up that event. And give it your full permission to be in charge of the event. Bring divine resolution. When you see that the light's fully at the event and it's been marinating in the event, once you see the connections there, then bring the event into your heart and know that you have divine resources already working for you. Now let this light expand more and more. And know that it's okay to communicate with it that you're not sure what to do, that you don't know what to do, and ask it to help you have clarity in any instant in your life. Ask it to start to bring into you the gifts that it wants you to bring to the world. Be open to receive the gifts. When light brings gifts for you to share, it also brings all the resources, protection, and everything needed for those gifts to be shared, all by grace. If you take time each day to connect with this light, with this energy, and start working with it, start bringing it to your challenges, start filling your body with it, let it govern your body. Start bringing your problems to it and asking for solutions and help. You realize you're no longer alone, that you're connected to a much higher source of consciousness that knows how to handle any situation that you're brought. The only thing that is required from you is to make the connection and to trust in it. Use it as your form of protection. Use it as a bridge to your supply. Use it to help you correct misperceptions, to clear negative energy. It's always available and it's free. So now thank this light, this consciousness, for being active in you. And ask it to become more active, to be with you on a daily basis. Just ask it to fill your whole week coming up with light and bring the resources that you need for your highest good. When you feel complete, just take another deep breath. Exhale slowly and open your eyes.